Hello and welcome. In this video, I am going to present to you the release notes of Boyum IT's Beas Manufacturing 2021.02. We're going to start out with the highlights and then outline the new features and improvements of the fresh release. Stay with me and get familiar with all that the new release has to offer. We have added new improvements in the WMS Integration area, MRP, production, business performance, customizations, web product configurator, usability, and system. As part of the WMS integration, we have included a new window where you can create a request to WMS warehouses from Beas to pick quantities for production. You can pre-assign complete quantities by lines or pre-assign all lines, or pre-assign the quantities of your choice manually with the first button. It is possible to do partial picking and create a pick list document, which then you can manage in the WMS mobile client to complete the picking. We have a new setting to allow production receipt without logistic unit. With this new option, production receipt in WMS warehouse can allow receiving without logistic unit, then assign it later in WMS, or create a new SSCC for each receipt, or even select an existing one in manual transactions. In the WMS integration area, now you can choose no pallet assignation or new pallet. Green line means that this is the last LUID SSCC that was used for this work order receipt document. The order recommendation by area now can show up to 18 periods in the MRP order recommendation. In the past, the order recommendation window always showed 9 periods, for example 9 weeks. Now, the count of displayed columns is more flexible and can show up to 18 periods. In the Item Master Data Planning Data tab, you can define the order multiple and minimum order amount and production lot size. This was supported in MRP but not in work order creation. Now, if those fields are defined in the Item Master, the system will consider asking to allow the user decide if it should be applied. In work order creation, now it is possible to deactivate the entry with the button Tool Activate in Master Data and Work Order. It is also possible to deactivate the tool by unchecking the active checkbox in Master Data in Item Master Data and Work Order. You cannot uncheck the active radio box if the tool influences time, because if such tool exists, it always has to be active. In the structure view, you can deactivate tools correctly. We have added a new integrated option to check the assignment of distribution keys. By pressing the button Start, the system checks if inserted distribution key exists, if there are incorrect cost center assignment in distribution key, if distribution keys were also defined for production hours per cost center, and the system checks the usage of either only distribution keys or pre-distribution for a cost center. The absorption cost process to calculate the report has been re-implemented to increase performance and show clear information in the final result. With the new process calculation, the process is now reduced to 20% of time, and the process is now based on previous calculated values. This means the system does not have to calculate large amounts of data for this process. We have also added 3 new tabs to manage absorption costing: WIP, consumed assemblies, and cost centers not used in production. We have continued improving user events and added new properties in the receipt line and issue line functions of work order management. Now new functionality is available to customize dropdowns like change color with rules, insert new entries, filter and sort, change title, and so on. This new feature in the web product configurator area allows you to reload the previous configuration. You just need to set the new option Allow to copy configurations from documents to Yes in the web product configurator basic settings. Now you can go to a sales order or sales quotation and click in the configuration to display it, but now the configuration is not read-only anymore. You can modify it and add it into the cart. In the sales quotations view, if the quotation is linked with one or more sales orders, now you can see those sales orders and there's a link to open them from this screen. The drop-down list in goods issue displays 2 new columns: reserved quantity for the selected BOM and reserved quantity total. The batches reserved for the current BOM are displayed at the beginning and the batches reserved for other orders are displayed at the end of the list. This feature was included in the web application work order issue also. In goods issue, bin location or batch number fields, it was not possible to see if a batch number was free or not. Now the system shows the reserved batches and also the available quantity, subtracting any reserved quantity. When the available quantity is in green, it's because it was reserved for the currently used bill of materials position. In case of batches, when an entry is displayed in red, it means that the batch is not free. We have the same functionality in the bin location dropdown as well. In the past, Beas only supported ISO 8601 calendar definitions. The system was especially not optimal for calculating the calendar weeks of different regions around the world. Now we inserted an additional functionality. In the company calendar, you can see the calendar week. If you create a new calendar, you can define a system of the used calendar. The system calculates the first calendar week automatically. You can change the first day of the week, the first calendar day, the first and last calendar week if system is set to custom. With this setting, the system can calculate the correct calendar week for Middle Eastern, Western traditional, and many other norms. Please note that in the past, Beas only supported the ISO 8601 system. No Beas internal calendar week functions recalculate the week again. The system always checks the definition in the company calendar. In new installations, during updating or changing language, the system checks if the current language is installed. If not, the system installs the last version of the language. After our improvement, now the system repairs the language definition file automatically if it does not exist, or stops the process in other error cases. The system loads the language only once, and the home language defined in the configuration wizard will always be updated. In this version, we continued the field review and improvements of the Data Integration Hub. As a general improvement, we have improved the date-time data type fields, improved the production time receipt, the production work order bill of materials, production work order, and the quality control field descriptions in QC inspection plan header area. Before you install the latest version of Beas Manufacturing, please note that we have updated our terminal license definition with correct information, which you can find on the link below. We have also updated the process to calculate absorption costs, and the report has been re-implemented. For detailed information, please visit our documentation and a quick guide to the absorption costing module below. The valuation method, planned costs, has also been changed to have the same calculation rules of the other methods. For further explanation of the change, please see the activity log. This concludes our video on the newest features, existing feature and system improvements and fixes of Boyum IT's Beas Manufacturing 2021-02. We encourage you to upgrade to this latest version of our solution and to keep in touch concerning any questions you might have. Please visit our documentation of version 2020.02 and our YouTube channel for more detailed information on WMS partial picking for production and our improvements in the MRP order recommendation area. Also, visit our community on the link below and stay tuned for our upcoming videos.